Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders GMS well. Peace, salutation, like I keep the four corners, pushing the truth, sincerity. Peace be unto you. Shalom. This lesson I want to get into is about Joel. Really, what's going on right now? You got the whole Iran war. It's not about to die down. I mean, if it does die down, that'll be your peace and safety. Spoken about in James. Let me grab that real quick. Peter, here we go. James chapter Salakia is Second Thessalonians chapter 5. Or First Thessalonians chapter 5. First Thessalonians chapter 5. It says in verse First Thessalonians 5 and 3 says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So there's going to come a time where there's going to be peace, and then guess what? Utter destruction. We're headed back over here in Joel, chapter 2, verse 20. Says, I will move far off from you the northern army. The northern army. What is that? That's talking about America. America is called North America. It's north. And you have the three unclean spirits like frogs, and one of them is this what DC. It represents the military might. The three unclean spirits like frog represents the three city states, which is DC, which is your army. The money is London, and then the spiritual demonic aspect of it is the Vatican. So DC is located in North America. So that's the Northern Army. Because what's the only army that gets deployed to other parts of the world that's not even next to them? You're not seeing, the Angola army being deployed to Cuba. You're not seeing the Australian army being deployed to Switzerland. You're not seeing the uh, Honduras army being deployed over to Denmark. However, it's this evil devil that keeps his armies in his hands everywhere. So the Northern Army is referring to North America. Joel 2 and 20 again. When I will move far off from you the Northern Army and will drive him into a land barren and desolate. A land barren and desolate. Barren and desolate. That's talking about the Saudi Arabian desert over there in the Middle East. And will drive him into a land barren and desolate with his face toward the East Sea. The East Sea is the Euphrates. It also represents the Persian Gulf. The Euphrates River flows into the Persian Gulf. With his face toward the East Sea and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. Now the sea that's the furthest away from it, the utmost, is the Red Sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. His stink come up, talking about dead bodies. So if you look between the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf, you're all up in those. It's a big giant desert between that area, and also it's also called the Persian Gulf is also called Yahweh Shaphat. That's Joel chapter 3 verse 2, which I'm gonna get into for in a second. But That's where the Straits of Hormuz is, and all nations have an interest in these straits being open. Because right now it's not closed; it's just closed to Western and Israel allies. So nations that are friends with Iran, they can get through still. Let me shoot over to Joel 3:2. And I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. So over by the Persian Gulf. And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So again, you have the Straits of Hormuz, one of the most important sea lanes or Gulf or seas for transporting oil. This economy is ran highly off oil, and it's essential that those straits are open and maintained. Now, America is having problems with Iran, far as invading Iran. So Iran is not the ideal place for you to invade because you got mountains, you got deserts over there, and it's just a terrain that's makes it very very hard to put boots on the ground. So what they've been doing is they've been dropping air bombing them, and so with all the air bombing that's going on, uh, they've killed the Ayatollah Khomeini, a lot of various senior leaders, uh, and they're also wanting to take Karg Island. I think that's where 90% of Iran's oil comes from. Now, the problem with that is that you can bomb it. That's cool. You can bomb it and disrupt it, but to take it and occupy it means you got to put groups boots down there. Boots are essential that you got to put down there because you got to have somebody that can take control of it. From airplane is not going to do that for you. So the problem is you put boots on the ground. Now you got a large area of U.S. soldiers who are now a sitting duck and a target for a uh, Iran missile to launch because they've already shown that they have ballistic missiles hidden in those mountains, just popping up. So they had to find out the hard way that they got uh, some of these mountains contain some of these Iran missiles. So you don't want to set up shop on an island. And all of a sudden, a silo shows right up, you know, uh, 60 miles away or 300 miles away, and it opens up and it's launching at you. So it's very dangerous to put boots on the ground in Iran. You know, because that's why also they're raising the age for uh for the draft, and that's why they're trying to even talking about instituting the draft because they understand that they are in an uphill battle. Now, America has long been the scripture talks at the hammer of the earth, and now Iran and other nations are basically starting to see how America is the problem because they're instigating. Because some of these countries they get their oil out of there. I think Philippines just said they only got 45 days worth of oil left. I think Japan said they only got 8 or 9 months worth of oil. So you have a lot of nations they're going to have to do something. So now all of a sudden bombing Iran doesn't work because now they're controlling the Strait of Hormuz, which but they weren't really doing that before. They got underwater mines in the Straits of Hormuz, blowing up ships, and even sometimes just the detriment of that deterring that is enough for ships not to want to come through because they're afraid that they're going to get blown up. So the insurance for these ships going through is goes through the roof, and they're like, no, we don't want to go through there. So America is in one hell of a pickle. I hope this lesson has been edifying. And with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Kudash. Double honors to the elders of GMS well. Peace, salutations, and shalom.